Welcome to the recap of the 2025 season, Leonard Lange championship season, and I just got to talk about this. Now, I haven't wasn't able to make the trip to the Grand Canyon or another grandiose location, so you're gonna have to settle for the messy basement because I just got to get this out, do a quick recap, share what I'm thinking, boys, and like what happened. So first of all, like thank you all for playing, and this is a tremendous feeling. Now, it's just fantasy football. No one's not life or death. There's a lot bigger things going on, but holy crap, do I feel good. Like, first time in 11 years this has happened. And I know for others, like, Levi, Jared, um, Devin, you guys have won other fantasy football leagues, but this is just such a unique feeling. I haven't won before. This was just like a legit championship through and through. There's no asterisk. There's no moving people into the playoffs arbitrarily. There's no people dying on the field for the last game of the season. Like, this is about as clear cut a championship that there could be. Like, and you know, I was posting a lot in the last month or so, just a lot of smack. I think it was mostly to be ironic to like help build up, fend off the disappointment that another loss would be. It had been a rough last 5 years. I had made the playoffs once, I believe, and got bounced pretty quickly there, and also just had some good teams and lots of disappointment. Like, can check the stats and everything, but like it's just it was pretty brutal for me there, and so not a lot to be happy about. So I came into the season like obviously play competitively, but it's like what can I do? I've done apps to like help tell me who to pick up during the waiver wire each season. I get the draft sheets at the beginning of the year, blah blah blah, just a lot of that. And so this year I just went from the gut and heart, and I got the best draft graded by ESPN, but everything gets thrown out the window right away. Like 2 weeks into the season, Joe Burrow's hurts, and Jamar Chase suddenly doesn't look like a great number one pick. It's just a lot going on. So yeah, a lot of and like the feeling, it's still settling in, and honestly, like it's gonna be this way until August. I don't care if that sounds lame or not. It's just like so nice to finally be done. Like once again, it's all for fun, but like you know, managing egos and everyone's been good, but just a lot like, oh, can I not start my people this week, or like, are we gonna have a Taysom Hill situation? All pretty small beans in the scheme of things, but it's like the whole time I was internalizing like, listen, I'll put up with this, and then I'm gonna win, and it'll all be worth it. And holy crap, it happened. After not winning for a decade, I was starting to think like the Bills, like you know, finally the Patriots are vanquished. Trenton's out of the playoffs. You know, this is my time, and then you just get kicked in the mouth anyways. So it's like just you start to believe it's not going to happen. Like, and similar feeling. Like the Michigan Wolverines. Like I picked them right after Lloyd Carr retired, and then they sucked ass for 15 years, and then they finally win. And granted, and once that's done, honestly, it's like the college football playoffs. Like, yes, I watch a little bit invested, but like the anxiety is just not there. It's like, well, we won pretty recently. Like, it's all fine. And now that's how I feel with this championship. I could go 0 and 15 next year, which would really suck ass. But like, you know, things happen, but I can be like, oh, I won, the last week of 2025 to take home my first championship. In the first 5 seasons of the league, I was in the championship twice, back to back years, and then just got clapped in the mouth. And then it's like, oh, yeah, I'll come back. And, it didn't happen. So, anyways, let me give you a quick little recap of something that happened here for the league. Um, I, uh, I think another reason this is legit championship. Um, the four people in the playoffs should have been there. Four out of the top five scoring. Like, yes, you have TJ there um, with the fourth highest, but really we have John, and we have Kyle, myself, and Cole. So that's like pretty fair overall. Plus, I had the third most points scored against. And, Carl and Jared, that's what happens when you're bottom of the league. You just get all the points scored against you. But, I had it up until the last week of the season. So it was nice to like see this overcome and just get lucky. I mean, that's about a 50 record. luckily I didn't have any too many stinging defeats, as I will show. There was one or two, but yeah. So just it was good. It was good. Yeah, negative point differential and sneaking in. That's great to see. So, anyways, league scoreboard here. So this is week 11. This is when I was starting to fear my playoff hopes are going to scoot away. I think I'm holding on to a pretty good team. Trey Tucker, geez, what a disaster that guy was. Picked him up off the waivers like week 4. Thought he'd be good. Held on to him forever, but just no good. So yeah, I get spanked by Trent here, and then the next week, this is when I thought it was over. I lose to Jared in a close one. I'm just like, I think I was 6-6 at this point. I'm like, I do not control my own destiny anymore. It's all going to be bad. And then sure enough, I get clapped by Scootin' Tootin' the next week. And then, so just to recap what happened here in all the craziness. So I was able to beat Levi by 3 with a clutch performance from Cameron Dicker here. Like, I went to bed thinking, oh, yeah, the season's done, 2% chance or whatever it was. Boom, get the win. Like, I woke up. That was great. It's like, well, okay, I'll ironically post. I have a chance here. And then week 15 comes up and I need another miracle. Not only do I have to win and TJ has to lose, I also have to outscore TJ by 35 points, I believe, which is like pretty crazy. But this was the beginning of Brock Purdy's magical run. Josh Jacobs had a quite the week there. I just kept watching the points score up. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna make playoffs. This is awesome. Just a solid performance from everyone. Just yeah, everyone overperformed except for Addison, which I had him for some reason. Um, yeah, I mean, so sucks for TJ. He doesn't talk a lot of smack, which is probably the best way to work with fantasy football. Is not to get too invested and just place it internally. And so Miracle get in, and then we have playoff round one, and boom, highest overall score for the third week in the row, I believe. Okay, just 2 weeks, but week 14, yeah. So huge score here. Just I was in Florida vacation with the family, and then Puka and Matt Stafford dropped 77 points on me. I go to bed just thinking, well, it was fun to make playoffs at least, and then an improbable comeback. I think the odds were below 10% at one point there. Cole takes out Kyle here, which was nice. Um, and then we go on to the next week, playoff round 2, and once again, watch Derrick Henry drop 45 Saturday night. Meanwhile, I have Josh Jacobs score a grand total of point 0.8 in the championship game. But it was, so once again, not feeling good. Yes, it's fantasy football, but it's like, God damn, so it's just like, frustration, but it is what it is. We're going to lose again, but and this was a solid team. Yes, we didn't score. Kyle had the most during championship, but ifs and buts for candy and nuts, then blah blah blah, all that good stuff. You play who's in front of you, and that's all you can do. So, foolishly went with Trevor Lawrence. Brock Purdy like outscored. I saw George Kittle was out, and I was like, well, let's throw in T-Law because he's had quite the performance as well the last few weeks. And yeah, Cole, this was a lineup got him to the championship. Fifth highest scoring in the league. These are good players. Cook, Barkley, um, Jackson Smith, Jigba, second overall. Like Kyle Pitts, wow, position rank number 2. That is a crazy fact. Now I gotta look here. But wow, number 2 overall. So yeah, Derrick Henry doing well. This was a good team in the championship, and just he had worse luck than I did. What can you do? I mean, he can't even really like say things would have helped out. I picked up Holston leveling off the waivers to get 18 points. Juwan Jennings, gets like 2 catches and meets his projection. I mean, it was wild. It was quite the ride. And like I was internalizing all this smack talk. I'm just gonna, get Carl, Devin, whoever, I'm just gonna like dish it all out. But like really, like pent up frustration, dealing once again, everyone's great, but it's like it finally happened. And like I won, improbable came down to Monday Night Football, and I had to sweat it out until the fourth quarter. Didn't even have I don't have cable, so I couldn't watch the game. So I'm staring on my phone. I'm like, honey, go to bed. I'm gonna just watch the game. I'll get up with the kids as needed, but I'm just gonna be glued to my phone and had to until the fourth quarter, had some magic runs. Kirk Cousins forgot Kyle Pitts existed. So and yeah, and then also feeling regret, Brock Purdy on the bench scoring 42, Zach Charbonnet somehow scoring 25. I had a couple other people that I dished out, but I was like, I'm just gonna see what happens. So, anyways, like this was crazy. It was a fun season, and like I don't feel any bitterness at all. It's just like a big wave of relief. So someday when you get there, Jared and Levi, it's worth it. Sticking with this, and it's going to happen. And like I said, for Carl and John, also champions. Like if you get a championship, you're a champion. If there's anything to learn from Cars, the movie, Lightning McQueen, yes, he gets the moral victory. He like falls short and then push a Dino car to the front. This might be going too deep, but that's my daughter's favorite movie at the moment is Cars. So let me just look up Cars movie plot because it was the green car that like ended up winning. So he'll always have that. Not all championships are the same. This year it was just through and through. There's no asterisk. I had it, and so it feels good. Lucky, all that good stuff. But what do you do at the end? So, chick, chick the green card. Yeah, don't be a chick from first movie. So yeah, he'll always have his championship. Can't take that away. But Lightning McQueen came and earned 4 or 5 more going on. So yeah, it was a fun season. Thanks everyone for playing. I just feel like I had to get this monologue out there. Watch it if you want. If you don't, that's cool too. Speed through. But like I'm just telling you, it's just a big wave of relief and so happy. So, anyways, we'll talk to you later.